Today we are going to talk about how to get rich and never work a single day in your life. Now if you are new to the channel, my name is Navjot and the number one objective of this channel is to democratize financial literacy so that everyone has access to all the information and you are able to make better financial decisions. Now coming back to the video, how to get rich and never work a single day. So let's get started. Now, small disclaimer before we start, I am not someone who has already achieved financial freedom. I am on the path of it, I understand it, and I don't want to wait 10, 20, 30 years to make these videos, and therefore I'm making these videos today. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, I'll really appreciate if you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so that you do not miss any future videos like these. So coming back to today's topic, we'll talk about what is financial freedom. What is financial freedom to me and you, because it's a very personal topic. We'll also talk about my path to financial freedom, and there's one diagram that I'll show which changed my life. And before I end the video, I'll talk about 4 books that are must read that changed my life, and it might change yours as well. Now first, let's talk about what's rich, what is financial freedom. And that's a very personal definition that I have, but I think it's relevant to a lot of people out there. Let me know in the comments if you resonate with this. It's ability to do what you want, when you want, with who you want, and for as long as you want. If you want to go on a holiday with your family and spend time with them, you should be able to do that without thinking where the money will come from. If you want to do something that you love, you should be able to do that for extended periods of time, maybe 3-4 months. If you want to travel, you should be able to do it for extended period of time without thinking about how you'll pay for shelter, food, and your kids' education. So for instance, for me, financial freedom is I want to teach till the day I die. And that's what I love doing. And I want to be with my family. I want to be able to travel the world without thinking where the money is coming from. So that's financial freedom for me, and I hope you are able to resonate with that. So when I became a mortgage agent, I became a YouTuber, I really wanted to make a lot of money, and that's just one part of financial freedom. That's financial health. You need to be able to make enough money while you do what you love doing. But there are 3 other aspects that I learned while I was making more money over the past 2 years. One of the most important ones is physical health. You can take away all the money that I have earned in the last 2 years, 3 years. You can take away everything that I have, you can take away even your loved ones, but what you cannot take away is the knowledge that you have gained. You cannot take away the skill that you have. The only thing that can take that away is your health. If you're not physically healthy, if you fall sick, everything is gone. And that's the reason why over the last 6 months, I hired a personal trainer, and now I train with him every single morning, almost every single morning, 4 to 5 days a week, because I really want to live longer, be healthy, and be able to do what I love doing till the time I'm 80, 90, or even 100 years old. Now the financial and the physical aspect are all external to you, but there are 2 other aspects which are internal to us, which is mental health. It's really important that you have a good relationship with yourself and the loved ones around you. We also need to surround ourselves with people who motivate you and keep your mental health positive. And when it comes to spiritual health, I've been meditating for about 10 to 20 minutes every single day, and it helps me center, it helps me be more productive, and it helps me be really calm in very difficult situations. I deal with finances every single day. I make really important decisions, or at least assist people in making really important home decisions, and I need to be super calm when everything is falling apart around me. Now that we have an idea of what financial freedom means, I can tell you this, you can get that in your job too. But the important thing to answer is that will you go to the office every single day if they stop paying you? If the answer to this is no, you would not go to the office if they don't pay you, then you are not in the right profession or you're not doing a job. And it could be a little bit extreme. My comments may hurt a lot of people, but that's the reality. Now, I was in a corporate job for more than 10 years. And for 10 years, I was lying to myself that I'm really good with research and that's my passion and that's what I love doing. But that was not true. The 1 year when things were not going my way in the job, I realized that I can be more. I can do more. I can impact more lives. And that's when I was introduced to the concept of Ikigai. I'll talk about that in the books that we read as well, but Ikigai basically means, and let me just explain to you, this looks like a very complicated thing, but it's not. It is basically an intersection of 4 things, and if they come together, you find your Ikigai, you find your purpose. The first one is what you love, the yellow one here. What you love is what you can do for free. Like in my childhood, I could play cricket for free. I was really bad at it, but I could do that for free. I used to play book cricket. So I don't know how many of you know. It's a book cricket. There are page numbers and I used to play World Cups on that. And I really wanted to, and if I'd known this earlier, I really wanted to be a statistician with ESPN Cricket Info and stuff like that, right? So that's something that I really love, and my love for numbers and my passion for numbers, and I was good at it. Therefore, I really feel that my alternate career would have been a cricket statistician. And this is what it means. What you love and what you're good at. I was good at numbers and I loved cricket, which is where if I had a job of a statistician in ESPN Cricket Info, I would have been really super happy. While what you love and what you're good at is really important, what's also important is what the world needs. You can't be irrelevant. For instance, the world right now doesn't need oil. You might be a really good person and know the oil industry inside out, but companies are moving towards renewable sources, and that's what is on trend right now. Now, the fourth thing is what can you be paid for, and we need to identify that as well. And passion and all is all good, but it's really important that you go into an industry that's growing and people can pay for it, and there's a win-win for everyone. Now, let's take my example where I fit everything that I do right now into this particular Ikigai. So what I love right now is teaching. Yes, I love cricket and there was a time to do that, but right now I know that I can teach for free and I can do that till the day I die. And I really love doing that. Now I can teach in a university as well, but that's not going to pay me as well. And I think I can do a little bit more than that. So then I identify what you're good at. What's something that cannot be taken away? And I'm really good at research. I'm really good at encapsulating a lot of information into small bits so that it's easy to understand. Just like this video, I'm good at articulation and I'm good at personal finance. So now I know that I can teach and my strengths are research, articulation and finance. That's where I now identify what the world needs, and the world needs homes. That's a high ticket item and that's something that you can be paid for. And that's where my options were. Either I become a mortgage agent or a real estate agent or maybe a certified financial planner. But I really felt that mortgage agent is something that resonates well with my research skills and my finance skills. Certified financial planning, maybe that's something that I would want to do, but that would take a long time. And real estate agent, yes, that's something that I could have done, but the reason why I did not choose to it, and that goes to my financial freedom definition, where I want to do this from anywhere in the world. And I cannot be a realtor from anywhere in the world. So if I'm in Florida tomorrow, I can do mortgages in Canada, but I cannot be a realtor from Florida. I cannot stress upon the importance of doing this exercise for yourself. So I'll really encourage, after looking at this video, don't just go to the next video. Go back to your notebook, go back to your computer, whatever you do, make this Ikigai for you. Understand what you love, understand what you're good at, understand what you can be paid for, and understand what the world needs, and then decide for yourself what is it that you really want to do the next 40, 50, 60 years of your life. Now comes another important part of the video where I leave you with 4 books that changed my life. The first one, and no surprises here, is Rich Dad Poor Dad. Honestly, I didn't like the book initially, and I've talked about that in social media. I thought this guy is a fraud, but things that he talks about are really important and relevant today. And I'm doing a lot of these things. Assets versus liabilities. That's really important to understand. People think that cars are assets just because they make their life easier. That's not the case. People think that their first homes or the homes that they live in are assets. That's not the case. So it's really important to understand the basics, and this book actually does that. It talks about the value of financial education. It talks about power of passive income, because that's one of the roads that we need to take towards financial freedom. It talks about the difference between tax avoidance and tax evasion. There are legal ways of how you can use debt as a tool in order to pay less taxes, and it talks about how to do that. This is where I thought that this person is a fraud, but I really feel that I was wrong when I first read it. And over the years, and I read it in 2012. The first time I read it was in 2012, and I was just starting my job, like 3 years into my job, and I really felt that whatever he's talking about is not possible. But I was the same person who thought that people who make money make it the wrong way, so I was obviously wrong. And then this book also talks about working for yourself and the power of doing that. And then it talks about taking calculated risks. Now, this book might be an eye-opener, but I think that this is a little bit extreme when it comes to money. And therefore, my second recommendation after you read this one is The Psychology of Money. And here we talk about financial success does not equal happiness. And this is the first time that I thought, oh, making money is not everything. And now I know that, there are other aspects, and we talked about that in financial freedom as well. The second thing that I learned is that money is a deeply personal topic. My idea of financial freedom can be very different from your idea of financial freedom. My situation can be very different from yours. For example, we don't have kids, you might have kids, and therefore your approach to financial freedom will be a little bit different. It also talks about patience, and Warren Buffett talks about that a lot, is that you need to be patient when you are investing, and investing is for the long term. Now, I also want to touch upon something that hit me really hard, which is fear being the biggest wealth killer. And the biggest example is that we stick to our 9-to-5 jobs knowing that we can do more, and which is, like I read this book in 2018 or 2019, maybe 2020, and it hit me really hard when I was doing my job, and I was like, I think I can do more. Even if I was to open my own research agency, I could have done more, but just the fear of not getting something every single month as salary was scary. And that is one of the wealth killers. It's not like you are not making money in your 9 to 5, or let me just talk about me. It was not like I was not making good money in 9 to 5, but I could have done more. And now I know that because I have been able to quit my job. I have done a lot better financially. And the fifth one, and that's kind of hypocritical of me because I always talk about numbers and Excel sheets. And just like this video, it's not always about numbers and Excel sheets. There is emotion attached to the money. You need to know how much is enough. You just don't have to toil away making 1 million, 2 million, 5 million, 10 million and $100 million when you don't need that amount of money. So there has to be a sanity in the way we are earning money, and we have to do it while staying true to our values. Now that the first two books talk about money and we understand money a little bit, we understand the emotion, we understand assets versus liabilities, we understand about taxation. And that brings me to the third book that I talked about, which is Ikigai. I already talked a lot about this. It is about finding your purpose, and it is about understanding that purpose can change over time. For instance, when I was a kid, I really wanted to play cricket, and the only way I could see is be a statistician. Now, I didn't have the knowledge or the exposure probably to do that or pursue that at that time, but right now I do. And now my purpose has changed to spreading financial literacy amongst new immigrants. And the third thing that I learned was your purpose can be selfish and yet benefit other people. And my purpose of making this video is selfish as well, because I love to teach and I will get AdSense revenue and I will have more mortgage clients. I will have all that and there'll be financial gain that comes to me, but it still can benefit others. It's not like I'm taking someone else's money or someone else's lifestyle. All I'm doing is I'm creating wealth for myself, and in the meantime, I also give tools to other people to create wealth for themselves, and it's a win-win. And finally, it talks about Ikigai, finding your intersection, that we talked about previously in the video as well. And the last and the fourth book that I would recommend is 100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozi. This guy is a powerhouse on social media. I'm sure that you have heard about this, and I would really recommend that you read this book. This is a very action-oriented book. You can actually build offers based on that. Now that you know the purpose, now that you know why you are doing what you're doing, now that you know what you want to do in terms of business, this book talks about niche and solving a specific problem. You can target a lot of different problems, but it's very important to create a niche. For example, for me, it's first-time homebuyers. I'm now building a team of first-time homebuyers mortgage agents. I work specifically with realtors who are first-time homebuyers, so that's my niche, and I am doubling down on that. The offer has to be so good that someone feels stupid not to take it. For instance, I became a mortgage agent. I can give all the knowledge that I have, all the research that I have. I give a lot more, and my clients would know that if you're watching this. I give so much away and I charge $0 for it because the bank pays me to make you rich. So essentially the offer is so good that you will feel stupid to say no to it. Then the book talks about how to create a high converting funnel. It talks about the value of customer satisfaction and referrals. And this book is really action oriented. You need to take notes. You need to underline stuff. I first had the audiobook of this, but then I realized that I cannot just have an audiobook. I then ordered this book and made notes, and I have underlines in that book. It's really action oriented. And if you know what you want to do, this will help you build that offer that people will feel stupid not to take. What I'll definitely encourage you is that you read these books in the same order, because Rich Dad Poor Dad and Psychology of Money will teach you about money, and then Ikigai and 100 Million Offers is about finding your purpose and then building an offer around that purpose. And if you read these books in the same order, and obviously you need to execute on what you learn from here, I can guarantee you that you will be rich and you will be on the path to financial freedom. Now, before I end the video, I wanted to leave you with a quote, because this hustle culture is becoming toxic. The reason why people hustle, the reason why I hustle is because my future depends on what I do today. So I put in the active hours today. I build enough wealth so that I can put it into assets that can give me the financial freedom that I need. And in 10-20 years, I can do what I really want to do, even if the money is not coming in from the active work that I'm doing. That's what financial freedom is for me. I hope you liked this video. If you did, do subscribe to the channel and share this video with someone who you feel would benefit from this. मिलते हैं अगली वीडियो में, तब तक के लिए बाय बाय।